What's going on? Okay, today. I'm probably gonna say some things that are gonna piss a few people off, and that's fine because typically those people are the types that get pissed over everything anyway. But I'm gonna give you just a few numbers. About 231 million people are eligible to vote in this most recent presidential election. Out of that 231 million, 134 million, almost 135 million people actually did vote. Now, the rest of the eligible voters, about 96 million, did not vote. So that's nearly half of the people who are eligible to vote did not vote. Now, when you take into account not just the eligible voters, but people who just never registered, because, we can't assume that everyone who isn't quote unquote eligible to vote is sitting in a prison somewhere. A lot of these people simply just can't be bothered. So when we take those numbers into account, most of the people in the country did not vote for a politician. So this whole game of politics is based on who the people want more. Some of the people wanted Hillary Clinton. Some of the people wanted Donald Trump. Smaller groups of people wanted Joe Stein or Gary Johnson or Bernie Sanders or whoever. But when it comes down to it, approximately half of eligible voters voted Democrat, the others voted Republican, and a larger total of eligible voters did not vote for anyone. So, if we're going by, the group with the largest amounts of numbers gets the election, well, how come we still have a president if most of the people who could vote did not? Right? They say that this is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Well, the people don't actually want you, and the numbers show that. Most of the people in this country don't want politicians. They don't care. They have other shit to worry about, more important things that actually, you know, affect their lives, and in not just a negative way, because all of this revolves around theft. So, you can see that a small group of people have chosen for you who your leader will be against your will. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, "Oh, well, if you don't like it, why don't you just move to Somalia?" I'm not going to address that yet. I have a whole thing on that, but we'll get to that some other time. But the point is that most of the people don't actually want this so-called leader. Like, most of us are perfectly fine leading ourselves. And if we did want a leader, we should be able to choose who we want to lead us on an individual basis, not have someone else's preferences forced down our throats. I don't see how this is the freedom in any way. You constantly hear about how this place is the freest and blah, 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 blah. But that's not freedom to me. If I can decide who your leader will be for you, even if you choose not to participate, that's not freedom. And I know a lot of people are thinking, well, why didn't you just vote and then you would have had the leader that you wanted? Well, that's bullshit, because I don't want any of these people leading me. Actually, I don't want a leader at all. And when I do decide that I want a leader, I would like to be able to choose my own. And you know, me and this so-called leader will negotiate terms of their leadership. And when I don't agree with their leadership anymore, I reserve the right to remove myself from whatever arrangement we have. You can't do that here. A small group of people chose for you who your leader will be, and then that's just it. You got to deal with it. That's not freedom. And more importantly, that's not doing something either. A lot of the voting public will say, "Oh, well, when I explain to them that I don't vote for politicians and I never have, then they say, "Oh, well, if you're not actually doing anything, then you can't complain about what happens." And this is a really shitty misunderstanding that people have about voting for a politician. They equate voting for a politician to quote unquote doing something. That's not doing something. Asking someone else to do something for you and then not even, and then them not even doing the thing that you wanted them to do in the first place, that's not doing something. That's asking someone else to do something on your behalf. Like, you're not actually doing anything. Standing in line like a dumbass with your stupid flag hat and your stupid stars and stripes pants so you can go check a box next to a name of some person you don't even know who's been filling your head with fucking lies. That's not doing something. Okay, the people protesting the pipeline right now, they're actually doing something, even though it's just a protest. It's not really just a protest because these people are actually in the way. This isn't the typical, after the election protest with people just marching up and down the street angrily, just shouting, "I'm angry." Like, that's not doing something. Like, these people are in the way of something happening. They're stopping it from happening. And they're risking their lives and having water sprayed on them from hoses in freezing temperatures, putting their lives at risk. That's doing something. Voting for a politician is not doing something. Okay, if I ask someone to bring me a cup of water, that's not really doing something. I'm asking someone else to do it for me. Well, the only difference between that and voting for a politician is that if I ask for someone to bring me some water, they're probably just going to bring me the water unless they have an attitude and say, "No, go get it yourself," whatever. In that event, I'll go get it myself. But the point is that if I ask for it, I'll probably get that and just that. You ask a politician to do something, chances are you're not going to get the thing that you asked them to give you. And you are going to get a bunch of shit that you didn't ask for, and you're not going to be able to do shit about it. Like, if the person I asked for a cup of water brought me that cup of water and I decided I didn't want it, no big deal. It might give me a funny look like, "What the fuck did you have me get it for?" I'm like, sorry about that. But with the politician, you get what you get. It's not what you ask for. You just get what you get. And your only choice in the matter is deciding whose lies you like more. Who sounds better when they tell the lies? Who smiles better when they tell the lies? That's it. Who your coworkers and family will give you less flack for supporting. Most people just kind of want to go along and get along and get through the day, and that's fine. But voting isn't doing anything. It's not. I don't know what you think that you have done by voting for a politician. And I mean, there's already so much talk of Trump walking back everything that he promised that he would do, that he was so passionate about, you know, having special investigators looking into Hillary Clinton, about his Great Wall of America, like just everything that he said. And the same thing would have happened with Hillary had she gotten into office. The same thing happened with Obama when he got in office. Remember, he ran on hope and change, and we're gonna close Guantanamo, and no more wars and all of that. Well, I'm pretty sure the United States is engaged in some sort of military action in like 7 different places around the globe right now. Guantanamo has never even taken a vacation since this man's gotten office. Well, I don't know. I think a hurricane or something touched down for a minute and they had to be like evacuated for a second, something like that. But that was really it. Like nothing changed, nothing at all. People gave Bush all kinds of hell, and deservedly so. Um, for many reasons about the war. I remember, I remember when Bush was in office during the war. You could turn on the news, and there was a daily ticker with the body counts of American soldiers who had been killed in one way or another during the war, just to really drive it home that everybody hates Bush. Obama gets into office. War doesn't really slow down. It actually kind of ramps up. And then on top of that, a bunch of remote control planes dropping bombs on people. The ticker's gone. Everybody that was screaming and crying in front of the White House and protesting and on their knees like they were at a Justin Bieber concert as a 14-year-old girl, they were all gone. They were all gone. Like nobody actually pays attention to what these people do. They just care. It's a popularity contest. Bush was an unpopular guy. Obama was a popular guy. Therefore, he can get away with the same shit and more, and it's cool. People gave Bush hell over Katrina. Nobody's really saying shit about Obama with Flint, Michigan, and them still not having clean drinking water. Whether you want to debate whether that's the president's responsibility to deal with that or not, whatever. That's not the point. The point is that if it was Bush, he would have gotten all kinds of hell. Obama doesn't get that kind of hell. Trump is going to get all kinds of hell, which is fine, because I am for giving politicians hell for any or no reason. Just make them as uncomfortable as possible. But if you're going to do it, just do it across the board. Like, don't put on the blinders when somebody you like gets into office, because they're still robbing you the same way. They're still taking your money to blow up brown people in the desert. They're still, they still have their presidential kill list. They still have all of the corruption of the last administration, plus whatever else they're going to add on top of that. So, just just be a little bit more principled about what it is you believe, because I'm noticing a lot of people don't actually know what they believe. They say what sounds right, and then if you challenge them on that, then they get an attitude, or they don't want to talk, or they find some excuse to either attack you personally or in the conversation, because they're not equipped to really even defend their beliefs, because they're too intellectually lazy to even examine their own beliefs and follow them through to their logical conclusions to see where it is they actually stand. But I'm going off on a bit of a tangent. My major point for this whole video is just to point out that voting for a politician is not doing something. It's not doing anything but asking someone else to do something. And when you have most of the people who, well, not most, but nearly half of the people who are eligible to vote for a new master decide not to, then that should tell you something. When you have even, when you combine that with the other people in the country who are not quote unquote eligible, but are here, and, maybe they just didn't go register to vote. I mean, it's pretty clear that most of the people in this country do not want a president, and the system is antiquated, and it's run its course. It has. It really is time for something different. And I'm not saying a different system of leadership, or I want people to be free to figure things out on by themselves, and I believe that we can. I have that type of faith in humanity. I know that people can be extremely ugly, and that's never going to stop, with or without, the police that we have today, with or without a president, with or without any of the billions of laws on the books. That's never going to change. There will always be ugliness in this world, but there will also be very good people who want to help. And we can't get in the way of that. We can't allow politicians to get in the way of that. You know how many laws there are against how many laws there are against people helping other people? It's ridiculous. I mean, that alone should tell you that maybe we don't need these people if they want to make sure that they can maintain a monopoly on being able to quote unquote provide a service to people in a very inefficient and costly way. Then maybe we should just get rid of them. I mean, it's pretty clear that we can handle most, if not all, of the things that government so-called does for us. I mean, when it comes down to it, what is government? It's just a group of people. So without a group of people calling themselves the government, another group of people just working voluntarily with each other can't accomplish the same goals and maybe do better. I don't think that's the case. I think that we can do much better without these people. But I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm just a dreamer. Maybe I'm just an idealist. I just have yet to see any actual proof that the system of governance actually does any of the things that it sets out to do, or it states that its intentions are. Like I don't see it. I don't see the evidence of it. So why not just leave people alone? Let us figure it out for ourselves. I don't know. I'm ranting too much. I'm gonna cut it here, and I'll be posting. I'll be posting maybe tomorrow, maybe in the next few days, but you'll be hearing a lot from me. Have a good one.